What's up, Adventure Family? This is the mighty Mississippi right here. That is a boat going across, and that was probably my only way to get across the mighty Mississippi today, because I didn't verify the days or hours of operations of that dang ferry right there. Apparently, it only operates on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I took yesterday as a day to walk around this very historic town and take pictures and, you know, just be present. And doing that has now caused me to make one of two decisions. I either stay here in St. Genevieve for 4 days until Friday and take the ferry across because that's the safest way, or I walk 2 days and I go to Chester, Illinois, and I try to cross a bridge that everybody I've talked to has been like, don't do it, it's not even safe to drive on. And so yeah, those are my two choices. Now, I have a third one that isn't really an option for me, but it would have been had I not given Mike, the fire chief, my inflatable tube. I had packed one when I started out on the Ozark Trail just because I knew I was going to possibly be doing some river crossings. And that allowed me to keep the pack out of the water and worry about boots at the same time and mitigate the risk of like losing the pack in the river or losing boots in the river. But so I've been sitting here for the last like half hour doing all the calculations in my mind of like, okay, how would I actually do this if that was an option for me? And I think I got it figured out. I have a ton of paracord, so I would, you know, tie my pack to the inner tube pretty well, to the point where if it did even flip over, the pack would still be attached to the tube. I would tie boots off on maybe like a 10-foot, 5-foot lead. Because the truth of the matter is for the first quarter of it or halfway, he's gonna want to kick his little heart out in the water. And that's not good to have around an inflatable tube. So the ability to kind of push him away, let him swim by himself till he gets tired out enough that I can bring him to the tube and myself and hold on to his vest and kick us across. That would be the way to do a tube crossing of the mighty Mississippi. Now, I have a lot of respect. I have a lot of respect for the river. That is a log floating through. Not sure how big it is, but it's moving at a pretty good clip. And if that were to run into me or boots or the tube, that could be very bad. Doing a river crossing like that, like this big, is inherently dangerous. Water is deadly. I say that with a little bit of experience under my belt with some scuba gear, and you know, the company that I worked for, actually we lost a 19-year-old in 12 feet of water in a lake. And you know, this is a heavy moving current. There's trees and debris floating down this river all the time, and I don't know, that's a good half mile almost across. So, do I think I could do it? Yes. Am I gonna do it just for views? Absolutely not. Now, if I was in that situation where I absolutely had to, then I believe in myself. I have enough faith in my calculations and in my abilities to swim that I would be able to cross the mighty Mississippi. But that said, no, that's not a cop. There's a barge system up the river just a ways here, and that's one of their little sirens that goes off. I thought it was the cops at first when it went off last night. I was like, dang, they caught me camping out here next to the river. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me whether or not you'd attempt a river crossing like this. I don't know. See you later. Have a good day, guys.